He was charming, he was athletic, he was a straight-A student on a tropical island. And by the age of 18, he had already made a girl disappear. No body, no charges, no consequences. He walked free and kept walking. Across continents, across borders, across 5 years of freedom. But here is the part that should send a chill down your spine. The day he finally murdered someone else was the exact same date as his first crime. Same month, same day. 5 years apart. Was that a coincidence? Or was this man telling the world exactly who he was? His name is Joran van der Sloot. He was born in Arnhem in the Netherlands in 1987. He was raised in Aruba, a paradise island in the Caribbean, where tourists come to drink, gamble, and forget their problems. Joran fit right in. He was a gifted tennis player and an honor student, the kind of kid teachers remembered fondly. His father was a respected judge. His future looked bright, but underneath all of that, something darker was forming. May 30th, 2005. Natalee Holloway, an 18-year-old American girl on her high school graduation trip, steps into a car with Joran van der Sloot and 2 brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo. She is never seen alive again. Her body is never found. And Joran, he goes home. He is arrested, questioned, released, arrested again, released again. The police have suspicions, but suspicion isn't evidence. Without a body, there's no crime scene. Without a crime scene, there's no case. Joran van der Sloot walks free on a legal technicality that will haunt an entire family for decades. But here's where it gets interesting. He doesn't stay quiet. He doesn't lay low. Instead, Joran begins performing. He writes a book. He gives television interviews. He calls himself a pathological liar on camera, almost daring the world to believe him. He tells one journalist that Natalee drowned. He tells another she fell off a balcony. He tells a third that he sold her to a stranger. Every story contradicts the last, and every time someone confronts him, he shrugs it off. He says, "I was just telling him what he wanted to hear." That line will matter later. Remember it. Dutch crime journalist Peter R. de Vries sets a trap. He plants an undercover operative named Patrick van der Eem into Joran's life. They build a friendship over weeks. They drive around together. They smoke together. And the whole time, hidden cameras are rolling. Then, in one recorded conversation, Joran finally talks. He claims that after Natalee became unwell on the beach, after he had sex with her, he called a friend named Dowry, and Dowry, he says, took her body out on a boat and threw it into the ocean. The footage airs on Dutch national television. Millions of people watch. The Holloway family watches. Beth Holloway, Natalee's mother, watches her daughter's alleged killer describe her death with chilling calm. And then, the Aruban judge refuses to rearrest him because Joran's defense is both cynical and almost brilliant. He claims he made it all up. He said he was just boasting, trying to impress his friend. He said he was just telling him what he wanted to hear. Same line, different year. But the real story is deeper, because by now, investigators believe roughly 80% of what he told that camera matched their own private findings. 80%. and still nothing. So Joran van der Sloot leaves Aruba, and the world watches him disappear again. Between 2008 and 2010, Joran drifts between Thailand, the Netherlands, and South America. He is investigated for involvement in human trafficking in Bangkok. A new undercover operation catches him accepting 1,000 euros as a deposit for delivering Thai girls to men he believed were in the sex trade. The deal never goes through, and again, it is not enough for a conviction. But something is building. In February 2010, Joran's father, Paul, a man who had advised his son to stay silent and to never cooperate with investigators, drops dead of a heart attack on a tennis court in Aruba. Within months, Joran van der Sloot is in Lima, Peru. May 30th, 2010. 5 years to the day that Natalee Holloway vanished. Joran van der Sloot checks into a hotel room in the Miraflores district of Lima with a 21-year-old Peruvian woman named Stephany Flores. She was the daughter of a wealthy and well-known businessman. She was a poker player, and that's how she met Joran at the casino tables. 3 hours after they enter that room together, Joran walks out alone. Hotel security footage captures every second of it. He goes in with her. He leaves without her. He withdraws money from her account. He takes her cash, her credit cards, and he runs, first to Chile, then he is caught in a taxi near the coastal town of Vina del Mar. Stephany's body is found in the room, beaten to death. The cause? According to Joran's own later confession, she had looked at his laptop. She had found information about Natalee Holloway, and he killed her for it. A woman died because she learned the truth. January 13th, 2012. A Peruvian court sentences Joran van der Sloot to 28 years in prison for the murder of Stephany Flores. He is 24 years old. Case closed? Not even close. Because in 2023, something extraordinary happens. While being extradited to the United States to face charges of extorting Natalee's mother, Beth Holloway, Joran van der Sloot finally admits what the world suspected for 18 years. He murdered Natalee Holloway. On the beach in Aruba in 2005. He was 17 years old. The confession is made to the FBI. He trades it for a lighter sentence, 20 years, to be served simultaneously with his Peruvian prison term. He gets a discount for finally telling the truth about a murder. Beth Holloway's response is haunting in its restraint. I cannot imagine van der Sloot ever continuing his life in freedom without ever having been held accountable for the death of my beloved daughter Natalee. She's right to worry. Because here's the legal nightmare. Joran cannot be prosecuted for Natalee's murder on Aruba because the statute of limitations for manslaughter has expired. The murder charge requires more evidence than currently exists. And in the United States, he cannot be charged either, because the crime happened on Dutch soil. He confessed to killing a girl, and he may never stand trial for it. In March 2026, Beth Holloway files a murder complaint in the Netherlands. Amsterdam prosecutors begin reviewing the case. The Aruban Prosecution Service transfers its entire Holloway dossier, decades of evidence, to OM Amsterdam. For the first time, there is a real legal pathway to justice in a Dutch court. For the first time, the country that produced Joran van der Sloot may be the one that finally holds him accountable. But as of today, he sits in a high-altitude Peruvian prison called Chalapalca, a facility so remote, so brutal, that prisoners describe it as a place designed to be forgotten. In December 2025, Joran van der Sloot was found severely injured in his cell, a suspected suicide attempt. He was stabilized. He survived. He is still there. Here is what makes this story unlike almost any other. A man lied so consistently, so brazenly, so many times, that the truth, when it finally came, almost did not matter. He shaped the narrative for 20 years. He weaponized his own dishonesty as a legal shield. And two women, one American, one Peruvian, paid for his freedom with their lives. The real question is not whether Joran van der Sloot is a killer. He admitted that himself. The question is this: how does a justice system hold someone accountable when the truth arrives too late, in the wrong country, traded away for a lighter sentence? And perhaps more unsettling, how many people like him are still walking free right now because no body was ever found? What do you think? Should Joran van der Sloot face trial in the Netherlands for Natalee's murder? Leave your answer below.